Today we're going to review Joseph Gordon-Levitt doing a high wire act between the World Trade Center towers, attacking with a French accent. The Walk, directed by Robert Zemeckis, the man who directed Back to the Future trilogy, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and Forrest Gump. And no, I'm not going to do the whole review in this French accent, no. His latest movie is The Walk, starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Philippe Petit, a high wire walker who's done previous stunts before doing the World Trade Center walk in 1974. His other two stunts was doing a high wire walk in Australia and doing one on the Notre Dame towers. This movie is not only about the walk between the World Trade Center towers, but also an origin story for Philippe Petit, and a story about how he meets his one true love, Annie, played by Charlotte LeBon. This is a really, really good movie. I really did like this. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is really good in this movie, even though his accent is pretty fake. I think he does the best with the script that he's given and his acting talent. So I don't want to hold his performance as Philippe Petit as any flaw to the film. I think he does the best that he can with what he's given. But the movie is really good, and the World Trade Center towers look awesome in this movie. It really makes you feel like you're back to the moment when the World Trade Center towers were up in the 1970s. It's really done very well and everything. When it gets to the moment where you see him walking between the two towers on the cables, that in of itself is awesome. And the whole lead up to the moment feels like an Ocean 11 heist kind of film, which is done very well, and everything about this movie is great. The chemistry between Annie and Philippe is very good. Ben Kingsley plays Philippe's mentor in the movie. He's really good as well. The direction is really, really good. This is probably one of the best movies I've seen from Robert Zemeckis since Forrest Gump, probably, because I'm not sure at what point did he start to do those motion capture animation films, but those films that he did weren't all that good, except for maybe The Polar Express, and even that movie, the animation wasn't totally perfect, really. So it's great to see him really get a return to form. He did pretty good with Flight, but it's really great to see him go fully return to form with this movie, even though it's not a fully perfect film, as good as Forrest Gump, Back to the Future, or Roger Rabbit did. There are some flaws to the movie, but it's still his best since Forrest Gump. It was just a really, really good film. It is an IMAX 3D, and eventually 2D showings are going to come out, but the movie looked really good in IMAX 3D, and it really gave good depth and everything. So the flaws of this movie. The main flaw of this movie, in my opinion, is the constant narration in this movie, where you see Joseph Gordon-Levitt's character talking about what's happening in the movie from the top of Lady Liberty's torch. There's really no need to do that much narration in the movie. The other flaw to the film would probably be how long it takes to get to the eventual walk between the two towers, but all that is done in order to get you invested in Philippe, Annie, and everything about this man, in order to get you to root for him to go across the two towers, even though this is insane and crazy. He could fall to his death and everything, but see him do it is very inspirational. It just makes you feel like a human being could do almost anything once he puts his mind to it, which is one of the main themes of this movie. Even defy death for a little while on a wire. When he's doing the walk between the two towers, it's really gripping because you know he could fall to his death at any moment as he's walking between the towers. That is just suspenseful, and it keeps you on the edge of your seat when he's doing it, and when they're trying to get up to the top and get everything prepared in it as well. So overall, I'm going to give this movie a B+. Definitely check this movie out.